Rabbi Sai Azoi. In his subtle rebuke to Klal Israel, Moshe Rabbeinu mentions Di Zahav, but Rashi says that's not a place. It rather refers to the gold which Klal Israel used to make the Egel Azav, Cheta Egel. But on reflection, this seems strange. Their mistake was not possessing gold. Their mistake was that they formed and worshipped an idol. So why is Moshe Rabbeinu referring and focusing to their owning that gold? My high. That's not my question. That's the question of Rav Simcha Zissel Ziv, the Alter of Kelm, whose yortzeit is this Shabbos. He was perhaps the Talmud Muvak of Rabbi Yisrael Salanta. In the 1860s, he turned down the prestigious job as Rav of St. Petersburg, the largest city in Russia, and decided instead to set up a Talmud Torah in Kelm for younger Bochrim. There he spread Rabbi Yisrael Salanta's ideas with unbelievable success. In 1881, after an enforced 5-year exile from Kelm, which he spent in a town called Grobin, he returned and set up a yeshiva in Kelm in addition to the existing Talmud Torah. The yeshiva was always small, never numbering more than 40 in number, but the quality of the Talmidah was unbelievable, and from Kelm came out the leading lights, mashgichim, Musa leaders of Europe. That list includes the Alter of Slobodka, the Alter of Novardok, the Yerucham Levovitz, and Rabbi Cheskel Levenstein. They and their Talmidim have left an indelible mark on the Olam HaTorah until this very day. The Alter was not only a Musa giant, he was also famed for his learning Siddharim, standing up for a straight 10 hours without interruption. Rabbi Eliezer Gordon said at the Alter's Levaya that he knew Baal Peh, Gemara, Rashi and Tosfos in over half of Shas, as well as the entirety of the Shulchan Aruch. Back now to the Alter's question. Why was Moshe Rabbeinu rebuking them about the gold rather than the actual Aveira of Cheta Egel? Answers the Alter. Because actually, the shorish of the problem lay in their attitude towards their gold, towards their material possessions. They hadn't prepared themselves to relate to that in the right way, to be in control of their relationship with the gold, such that when temptation and challenge came their way, they were likely to fall. The Ikka problem was their relationship to the gold. The Cheta Egel was only a result of that. And therefore Moshe focuses on that. Di Zahav was actually the main issue. What a fitting message from the Alter. His Talmud Torah, his yeshiva embodied the need to be in control, not to get taken away by one's drives and temptations. Total self-control, total self-discipline. Famously, a bocher was once suspended from the yeshiva for a whole week. For turning his head round when he heard a noise in the Beis Medrash. Rav Elia Lopian was also a Talmud of Kelm. He lived in Kfar Hasidim in the north of Israel. He was once waiting for 45 minutes for a bus in the heat of the summer. And after 45 minutes, he turned around to see if perhaps the bus was coming. And afterwards, he was very disappointed with himself. He said, in Kelm, I would have got a severe reprimand for turning around when there was no need to do so. On one occasion, the Alter saw that a bocher's shoes were not placed neatly underneath his bed and proceeded to give a 2-hour Musa shmooze to the entire yeshiva about the importance of having things done keseder. The eventual successor as the leader of the yeshiva was Reb Doniel Moshovitz. He said of his Rebbe, the Alter, he did not open an eyelid or move his little finger without a reason and without preparation. This was a legacy which Rav Doniel himself kept going until the very last day of the yeshiva. In July 1941, on the 5th of Av, when the Nazis came to round up the Talmidim and take them to their deaths, they walked with seder and calm, no panic. Accounts express the disappointment which the Nazis had when they saw these Jews were not going to their death in a panic or in a frenzy. They walked to the forest holding Sifrei Torah, singing Adon Olam, Ashreinu, and saying Pirkei Tehillim. Just before they were all shot, Rav Doniel asked the Germans for permission to address his Talmidim for one last time, permission which he was granted. And he told them, Al Pi Ma'amare Chazal, how their deaths, Al Kiddush Hashem, would have the ability to stop the world, which was already falling apart from being utterly destroyed. In true Kelm fashion, the mind, the seichel, ruled. Extraordinary. Like the message, Al Pi the Alter of Kelm that Moshe conveyed with his Di Zahav. Stay in charge of your life, stay in charge of your emotions, and don't let them take charge of you. Oket Shabbos.